Hello and welcome to my awesome health journey. I am Brett Dupree, and this is my awesome health journey. Today, I am talking more about emotions in my other Forex shirt. This is actually one of my favorite Forex shirts. I was really sad when I couldn't fit this one, and now it kind of fits. I like this color on me. Actually, the story of buying this shirt is I was at DXL and I saw it, and I liked it, but when I went to look at it, I felt uncomfortable because the color was kind of like a little too bright. And like in my mind, I'm a man, I had to wear dark colors because they're grrr, manly. And I'm like, that makes me feel uncomfortable. And that's why I bought it because one thing I try to do in my life is something makes me feel uncomfortable, I do it. And that actually is accidentally a good segue into what I was talking about. I was having a conversation with my friend yesterday, and she was asking me how I get get over my insecurities. And as I would mention in my previous videos, I don't feel like I am over my insecurities. Is that I just understand kind of like the idea of emotions and how they work, at least within my body. It's a constant action. In my mind, I'm a mess. I always have these negative thoughts just pop up in my head. And she asked me of how I'm so confident. I'm like, see me try to talk to an attractive girl and see, that I want to date and to show how confident I actually am. Almost no confidence there. But anyway, a lot of this is actually, at least lately, is based off the work of Lisa Feldman Barrett, who talks about how emotions are made. And the way she puts it is interesting, and it kind of flipped my kind of the idea of what emotions are and their effect on us. Because I usually think emotions were things that, like, when I was really young, emotions were just something that happened. And then later, I figured out through just, reading and stuff that emotions are something we do. I don't just feel angry because of things happening. I go through the process of being angry based off thoughts, choices, and the context of the situation. And what Lisa proposes of, she says, the latest neurological research, but I haven't seen anyone say she's full of poop yet, is that emotions are predictions made by the brain based off the stimulus of the body, the emotional concoction released by the body, and based on what it sees in the situation. Meaning that, like, for instance, excitement and fear are very similar in what's released. The cortisone, the dope. I'm not an emotion expert, so here I am being a person who just reads a bunch of people. So I'm not an expert of this, but it's like I just use all the chemical reactions are very similar. It's just the context of our brain, and then the brain makes predictions on, is this harmful? Is this helpful? Are we gonna have fun? But the emotional reaction isn't the emotional hormone chemicals that are released in the brain and the body aren't that different. The adrenaline's what I was looking for. Like sometimes adrenaline is released when you go up through a roll, get ready to go on a roller coaster, and it's wee. And other time it's like there's a bear right over there. So the emotional soup, if you will, is similar. The body's tenseness and stuff, but like your brain predicts roller coaster fun. This is going to be fun. Bear bad. This is going to cause me death. And so that's how our nuance of emotion come. It comes from our brain's ability to predict and our context of our understanding of our emotions, which is why different cultures kind of have different ranges of emotions and even words of emotion, because their brains predict things a little differently than other brains due to the fact, language and all that stuff and the way our brains work. So it's a little bit more complicated. But it's also makes it so this idea of I just have to really work on my brain's predictions and really think to myself of choosing thoughts, because my brain will go down a path if I go into a situation that's uncomfortable. For instance, I'm working on becoming emotionally intelligent, and it's hard, especially when you want to have a tough conversation with someone that you feel is going to be uncomfortable. I use me statements on that. And the idea, though, is like in the past, of course, is for me in those situations. My friend was talking about job interviews. I hate job interviews, but to go through job interviews, I can't think of all the negative things if they're going to judge me for being fat or if I miss a question or whatever. I just have to do the best I can with what I have at that moment. And when those negative thoughts arise, I always like the idea of, even though I'm no longer the biggest fan of Byron Katie, but I do like the idea of questioning thoughts, because thoughts, when you have a thought, it like creates a groove in a way. And questioning the thoughts creates pathways off that deep groove. And then you can create a new pathway, a new groove of thought that's easier. And my practice for myself is to continually try to walk down that unbeaten path so that I have choices. So when something happens, and say a woman I'm attracted to talks to me, I don't necessarily always have freeze. I can finally go down the path of having a normal conversation. Stuff like that. Maybe one day I'll pick the path of being able to ask them out. I'm only 45. Maybe when I'm 60. Anyway, but the basic idea is that we make these emotions these gigantic things that we can't control. When they are something that we have some control over, but not control's the wrong word, but I know when those emotions happen that there are thoughts based on my experiences, based on actions of others, and based on my actions and how I reacted and thought about in the past, sometimes when I was 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm letting an 8-year-old make my decisions when this thing happens, and I would never let an 8-year-old make my decisions now at 45. But if I continue to work on it, if I continue to move new paths, if I continue to move forward, I'm able to make new choices. And especially if I do practices that reduce the emotional feeling, so that my cognitive brain will be able to quicker move me down the new path of new thought that allows my emotions to mean new things rather than what they meant in the past, so that I can continually work on, living the best life that I can, because that's what I can do, is work on being the best version of me, the me that I'm proud to be, and deal with situations when they arrive and work on them, like a grown-up, because I am, apparently. Well, anyways, I hope that was helpful or insightful, or maybe sparked something in your brain that made me think maybe I should check out Lisa Feldman Barrett's work and see if her ideas help you out at all. I'm halfway through the book. I lost a lot of desire to read personal development books in my age because I was obsessed with them for a while, and now I feel like I just need a huge break. But at the same time, there's some good stuff, so I'll just a little introduction to her and kind of my thought process, and to build off my last 2 videos I talked about emotions and not being actually done. And now I'm just rambling. Anyway, I love you for who you are. Thank you for watching, and you're worthy. Oh man,